The SPA-Viberti AS-42, commonly known as the Sahariana, was an Italian reconnaissance vehicle developed during World War II for operations in the harsh environments of North Africa. Introduced in 1942, the AS-42 was designed in response to the success of British long-range desert group vehicles, aiming to provide the Italian Royal Army, Regio Esercito, with a highly maneuverable, long-range platform for deep reconnaissance and raiding missions behind enemy lines. Built by SPA, Società Piemontese Automobili, and Viberti, the AS-42 utilized the same chassis as the AB-41 armored car, featuring four-wheel steering for enhanced agility, but was adapted for desert use with a 2x4 transmission and a lightweight, unarmored body. Powered by a 110 horsepower inline six-cylinder engine, it could reach speeds up to 52 miles per hour and had an impressive operational range of up to 1,400 kilometers with auxiliary fuel tanks. The AS-42 was notable for its versatility in armament, capable of mounting a variety of weapons including machine guns, 20mm anti-aircraft or anti-tank guns, and even a 47mm cannon. Its open, low-profile design allowed for rapid deployment and adaptability, though it offered little protection to its crew. Approximately 200 units were produced and saw service not only in North Africa but also in Sicily, mainland Italy, and, post-armistice, with both Italian and German forces. The SPA-Viberti AS-42 stands out as a distinctive example of Italian military innovation during World War II, reflecting the tactical demands of desert warfare and the influence of Allied special operations vehicles. The SPA-Viberti AS-42 Sahariana entered production rapidly after its development in early 1942. Designed by SPA-Viberti using the chassis of the Autoblinder AB-41 armored car, the prototype was presented to the Italian military on July 9, 1942, and began production in August 1942 at the SPA-Viberti factory in Turin. Initial batches were delivered to frontline units by late 1942, with the first 14 vehicles operational by November 1942 under the Raggruppamento Sahariano AS. The AS-42 Desert model, designed for North African operations, it featured sand tires, four-wheel steering, and extensive fuel or water storage, up to 400 liters of fuel in jerrycans for a claimed range of 1,400 to 2,000 kilometers. The AS-43 Metropolitana, introduced in 1943 for European theaters, this version replaced fuel cans with ammunition lockers, added mud or snow tires, and included a canvas top. The exact number produced remains unknown, but the design prioritized speed and adaptability, leading to variants like the AS-43 being fielded in smaller numbers by 1943. Post-1943, surviving vehicles were used by German forces, the Italian Social Republic, and post-war Italian police units until 1954. The AS-42's production reflected urgent wartime demands, leveraging the AB-41's proven chassis to create a highly mobile reconnaissance vehicle optimized for desert warfare. The SPA-Viberti AS-42 Sahariana was a highly mobile Italian reconnaissance vehicle designed for desert operations during World War II. Below are its key features. The AS-42 featured a versatile armament setup, including a 20mm Breda Mod .35 autocannon, a 47-32 Mod .1935 anti-tank gun, or a Solothurn S-18 1020mm anti-tank rifle. 1 to 3 8mm Breda 37-38 machine guns, typically mounted on flexible pintle or tripod mounts. The Metropolitana variant replaced fuel jerrycans with lockers for additional ammunition. The crew included 3 to 6 personnel, depending on armament configuration, a driver, gunner, and additional crew to operate machine guns or manage ammunition. Early models used the 88 horsepower FIAT-SPA ABM 2 6-cylinder petrol engine, while later sources mention an 8-cylinder 120 horsepower engine. The vehicle's speed reached 78 to 84 km per hour on roads and 35 to 50 km per hour off-road. The vehicle's 4x2 configuration with four-wheel steering was optimized for desert terrain but less effective in mud or snow. The AS-42 had minimal protection, with 3 to 5 mm structural steel on the chassis and 10 mm spare tires offering limited ballistic shielding. The vehicle was vulnerable to heavy machine guns and explosive rounds due to lack of armor. Crew relied on speed and maneuverability for survival. The SPA-Viberti AS-42's fuel capacity featured a 145-litre internal tank plus 400 litres in external jerrycans, reduced to 200 litres in the AS-43 Metropolitana. Operational range was at 535 to 2,000 kilometers depending on fuel load, with consumption of around 1 litre per 3.7 kilometers. The SPA-Viberti AS-42 Sahariana proved highly effective in its specialized role as a desert reconnaissance and raiding vehicle during World War II, though its combat history was marked by both tactical successes and operational limitations. The first 14 AS-42s were delivered to the Regroupamento Sahariano AS by November 1942, participating in the final stages of the Libyan campaign and the Tunisian campaign. Designed to counter British Long-Range Desert Group (LRDG) tactics, the AS-42 excelled in ambushes, using its low profile to hide behind dunes and conduct surprise attacks. Its long range, up to 2,000 kilometers with external fuel, allowed extended pursuit of Allied forces. Assigned to Auto-Saharan companies and the 103rd Battalion during Tunisian operations, the AS-42 disrupted Allied supply lines and captured numerous vehicles. By 1943, LRDG units were ordered to avoid engagements with AS-42 heavy forces unless aerial support was available. The AS-43 Metropolitana variant saw action in Sicily and southern Italy in 1943. Units like the 2nd Battalion 10th Regiment used it for reconnaissance and delaying actions during the Allied invasion. AS-42s were deployed during the defense of Rome on September 8, 1943, by the Motorized Assault Battalion. Post-armistice, surviving vehicles were used by Mussolini's Italian Social Republic and German forces. 7 AS-42s were disarmed, repainted amaranth red, and used by the Polizia di Stato for patrols in Udine and Bologna until 1954. Powered by its 88-horsepower six-cylinder engine, the AS-42 outpaced most contemporary armored cars. The open-top design allowed rapid weapon swaps including 20mm Breda, 47mm cannon, or Solotherm anti-tank rifle, while four-wheel steering enhanced desert maneuverability. With 400 liters of external fuel, it operated autonomously for days, crucial for deep desert raids. However, minimal armor, 3 to 5mm, left crews exposed to small arms and shrapnel. A single Sherman round could disable the vehicle. The sophisticated four-wheel steering and engine components made maintenance difficult, limiting large-scale production. Exact numbers remain unknown, but high costs and Italy's 1943 surrender restricted deployment. Surviving units were often outnumbered in later campaigns. The AS-42's blend of speed, range, and modular armament made it a formidable raider, though its late-war introduction and Italy's logistical collapse curtailed its full potential.